Hello. All right, so it's been a couple days, maybe a week or so, or even more. I've lost track of time at this point of when I last went live, and I wanted to pop on here today while I had a few minutes and just chit chat with all of you. Kind of do like a little update, life chat talk, if you will. And if you're on here in real time joining me and you want to ask me anything in real time, feel free to do so. I'm a little bit better. If you can tell, I'm not as congested, but still congested. It's kind of wild. It's been a week doing all the things. It's just, I don't know. Perhaps it's the season, allergies mixed with a little bit of a cold, but it's really annoying. Let me just tell you that, because for like a week, I feel like I'm in a tunnel. Like it's in my nose and in my sinuses, and then it's like my ears are clogged. So it's a good time. Anyway, I wanted to chat with you guys because I've just been feeling really good. And I know that a few weeks ago we talked about where I was at with feeling really burnt out, kind of just in a state of like realizing that my cup was empty, and it had been empty for a really long time. Even though I thought I was filling it, I wasn't. And now I'm really feeling it, and it feels really, really good. And a lot of that is coming from grounding my energy, really diving into my faith, and being super mindful of what really brings me joy. And so I'd love to challenge you guys this week for you to look at your life right now and ask yourself, what are the things that you do or the people that you surround yourself with that really make you feel good, that like really lift you up and just take your life to that next level, right? Because a lot of times we get stuck in old patterns and old ways, and we don't realize that there's like roadblocks. There's things that are stopping you from going to that next level in your life. And I've kind of felt like that for a little bit. I've just felt like I'm ready to go here, but there's something in my way. Like every time I want to go to that next level, it was like, I just kept hitting that like roadblock, if you will. Like, imagine you're walking or driving and you hit that thing and it makes your car not go forward, or it makes you propel back. And that's kind of how I was feeling for like a really long time. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm ready. But really I wasn't ready. God was saying, girl, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet, because what I'm putting you through, what you've gone through, where you're going to go, when you go there, you'll be ready when I say. And so for the better part of my life, I've always tried to control everything. Like literally, I will never forget. So I was offended one time. Let me tell you this backstory. I was part of a wellness event, and there was a woman there who claimed to have worked with like Tony Robbins and such. I don't really believe so, but whatever. And she did this like horse therapy. And I was trying to do the thing with the horse that she wanted me to do. And anyway, she called me a control freak. And honestly, the way she said it was just not nice. And for somebody who was supposed to be helping people in a therapy setting, her words cut me like real deep. I was like, oh, she called me a control freak. And I was like, I'm not. But really I was. But I didn't want to admit that. Like, how many times in your life have you received criticism or feedback and we don't want to take it? We're like, I'm not like that. That's not me. Or we get defensive automatically, right? Like, F them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so that's always been me. Always. Like, I used to tease and be like, it's a Scorpio in me. And I'm like, actually, it's the unhealed me. It's the part of me that thinks that I can control life. When really the reality is the only control that I have are what I do next. My thoughts, my steps in life, how I show up in the world, what I do, not what people say, not how people respond, not how people act, and certainly not what's going to happen even in the next, hour or next day or next week or next month, because God's in the driver's seat. Like, he's like, girl, just get in the passenger seat. I don't know why you're trying to drive. Like, I don't know why. So I've kind of just finally 39 years old, have realized this. And in that, there's so much joy and peace. Let me just tell you, because you stop tormenting yourself with trying to change what is, and rather accept what is, learn in that moment, and take a step forward, right? Begin the next day, do the next best thing. And so anyway, all this to say, when she had called me this control freak, I kind of was like, ouch. And I never realized in that moment I am, and I'm a recovering control freak. It's not a bad thing to want to be in the driver's seat of your life. When it, though, directly affects your mental health and relationships with people, because you're so hell-bent on being the driver and being in control that you don't even allow other people's feelings to take a precedence in your life. You're not even like allowing yourself to receive the feedback and criticism. You're not willing to hear it because you know best. You know everything. You're the shit. And I had to humble my ass. Let me just tell you, God has humbled me in so many ways. And I'm like, I am an amazing human being. I'm an amazing friend. I'm an amazing wife. And I'm an amazing mom. And I make mistakes. I'm not always going to be the best. I'm going to fuck up sometimes. And it's being able to receive the feedback, receive the criticism, depending on where it comes from. Also, we need to be mindful of that, right? Because some criticism is not criticism you really want to take to heart or listen to. But if it's people that love you and care about you truly, and they give you some feedback or criticism, don't be so quick to lash out and say, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, I'm fine, or you're wrong, and shut them down. Maybe take a moment to receive and say, maybe there's some truth to that. Let me dive into that. And so I think because my whole life I've wanted to avoid being hurt. I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel lost. And so what I would do is, instead of addressing the feeling and the issue, I would say, how can I get to that? How can I get over this? How can I quickly be like, move on from this? What can I do to get out of this discomfort and just keep going? And so in doing that, I never actually took the time to dive into why I was feeling what I was feeling, or maybe why things were happening. And now I'm in a place where not only am I able to forgive myself, but I can forgive others. And I've also realized that there's so many different seasons of life. You guys, I'm going to be 40 in November. There are so many seasons of life. And through every season of life, for me, God has always been with me. I was never alone, even when I thought I was. And through this season right now, where I'm at, as I've always said to you guys, I've done so much healing work, right? That never ends, right? Our journey with self-love, confidence building, whatever it is, grieving, whatever we're doing and overcoming, it never ends. It just kind of ebbs and flows, and you have to keep working at it. But now I'm in this season of life where I'm really doing the deep dive work and healing this heart of mine, because in order to be remembered always with joy in the mind, you have to lead with grace, lead with joy, and there was something that like 2 weeks ago in service at church, I think I talked about this, but our pastor had mentioned like to stop taking things personally. Like, not everything is about you, or, not everything someone does is to hurt you or offend you. It's not always about you. Like, don't take everything so personally. And even when it is about you, there's also another person in the other equation, right? Like, when you're going through something, it's not just about you. It takes two to tango. Two to tango in any relationship, in a friendship, in a work partnership. It always takes two. So the other component is, don't be so damn hard on yourself. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Because I've done that for years. 4 years. Taken the issue at hand, try to control it in the outcome and the people that are involved. And then in turn, I'm like losing my mind and having so much anxiety because I think I can control the situation. And then I beat myself up and I want to take all the blame. And by thinking I can take all the blame, I think I can just fix everything. We can't just fix everything. And some things don't even need to be fixed. Some things just take time. Some things just take breaks. Like, some things don't need an explanation. And we're all just doing our best. We're all really just doing our best. And I think that the more I talk to people and the more I open up and the more I step into my faith, the people who really, truly know me, and then those of you who've watched me, but the people who know me, they're like, you seem so light. I'm like, it's called peace. I have an overwhelming amount of peace in my mind and my body and soul right now, because I am literally letting Jesus take the wheel. God is in my heart and leading me to be who I am called to be. I want to lead with grace. I want to love with grace. I want to, I want to get to this next step, this next level in my life. And in order to get there, I said to just stop for a moment and say, what kind of work can you do on yourself? Because you're always helping other people, and you're always pouring in other people, and you're always helping other people overcome, and you're helping other people go through all their things. Maybe you got to work on yourself a little bit. Maybe there's a little more work there for you to do. Maybe there's a little more deep diving to do. And that's where I'm at. And it feels really freaking good. As you guys know, or most of you might know, like, we're going to be selling our house and moving. Like, this is our plan. But even in that plan, I know that God already knows what's going to happen. And I have peace in that, because for once in my life, the peace I feel is so beautiful, I could cry. Because instead of being like, oh my God, is it going to sell? What's going to happen? What are we going to do? Like all the what ifs and go crazy. I'm like, he's got the wheel. I'm trusting where he's going. And I'm okay with whatever comes. When you finally relinquish the need to try to control every situation and outcome in your life, there is so much peace and joy waiting for you. And that is my message for you today. That there are things we can control, yes. And then there's things that you cannot control. And if you try to, it's like forcing a square peg in a circle or a circle in a square peg. It doesn't happen. It won't work. And you can keep trying. And if you don't stop to take accountability for yourself and your own actions, then you can't grow to be better. Right? I love you, Nancy. I see you commenting. Thank you so much for your beautiful message. I am telling you guys that this has been the best thing for me. And it feels really good. I finally have slow mornings. I sleep in with Riley sometimes till 8 o'clock, and it's so good. It doesn't make me less productive. I've just realized that for a long time, I thought my productivity equaled my worth. And instead, I found my worth in Jesus. I found my worth in my faith. And I realized that it doesn't matter how many things I do before 8 a.m., that doesn't make me any more worthy or less worthy than the next person. And it doesn't matter if I didn't get things done, or if all I did for the day was just enjoy the day and the time spent with my family and my daughter. That there's no right way to live, and there's no right way to show up, and there's no one's better than the next person because they did more than the last. And so for once in my life, productivity doesn't equal my worth. Trying to control my life is not what I wish to do. And peace is all I want. And that is what I finally feel. And I'm even going through a hard time right now, and it might get emotional. I'm going through a heartbreak with a friendship. And even in that heartbreak, I'm proud of myself because I'm not doing what I normally would do, which would be shut down, build a wall, and assign blame to the other person. Instead, I'm taking accountability. I'm healing. I'm growing. I'm just trusting in God. And there's seasons for reasons, right? And even if in this season, friendships look different, I truly believe there doesn't have to be a love loss. There doesn't have to be a hardened heart. And you can appreciate what you had when you had it. And you never know what happens. I've had many friendships in my lifetime come around full circle again. It's just seasons for a reason. And in this season, I know God is calling me to do more, and I'm ready to do that. I know I've inspired so many of you by sharing my faith more, and I used to always say, I'm not here to preach religion, and it's not about religion, it's about faith. It's about my relationship with Jesus. It's not about religion. It's also not about a building. It's about my relationship with Jesus Christ. And for a long time, I was scared to share it because I thought that it would turn people off. But the truth is, the right people will receive it. God will continue to speak through me to you. And those who want to hear it will listen. And those who don't, they won't. And that's okay. Because I wasn't put on this earth to not boast about my love for my Lord. To not say that the reason that I'm able to be where I am and overcome all that I have endured, it would not have happened if I did not have God. This love, this connection with my faith. And that is the truth. And so I want to share with you that no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're at in life, it'll be okay. God is good. And there's not anything that he will ever do without knowing that he can get you through it. And everything has a purpose. And I love each and every one of you, truly. This platform has changed and shifted and grown in so many ways over the last 6+ years. And I think the entire time, God's been pulling on my heart. You can do it. You can do it, girl. You're almost there. I got you. Now I know. He's got me. So, wherever you're at, just don't give up. And lean into your faith. Because there's nothing greater than being wrapped in... Sorry, my phone keeps getting cut off. But there is nothing greater than being wrapped in the blanket of his unconditional love. And just never forget, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And just let Jesus take the wheel. I love you guys.